What's up guys, RK here. As we get into September, the Nintendo Direct topic is becoming a very popular one once again. This is to be expected as Nintendo has held a general Direct every September since the Switch generation started, with the exception of 2020 when they instead held the Super Mario Bros. 35th anniversary Direct. As we know, Nintendo skipped their traditional general June Direct this year, so could this mean that they will also skip their traditional September Direct this time? That is definitely a possibility. Nintendo used Twitter and YouTube for new announcements and trailers this summer, so there is a chance that they will continue that approach for the rest of the year. However, I don't think that will be the case. Twitter is a perfectly fine platform for announcing new trailers or giving out new information for games that we already know about, as well as for announcing games of smaller scope, like Kirby's Dream Buffet. But Nintendo likes to announce bigger first-party games in their general directs. I was speculating in my last video that perhaps the reason that Nintendo skipped the June Direct was that a Switch Pro announcement is coming in September, where new upcoming games could be showcased on the new model. Even though I won't fully disregard this possibility yet, I agree that it's starting to look more and more unlikely, with more signs pointing at the first half of 2023. If a Switch Pro isn't announced this year, I think the most likely reason to why Nintendo skipped their general June Direct was that they felt like they didn't have enough new content to show, or enough new games to announce, as we already in June had a pretty good idea of what games would release in the second half of this year. Another potential reason could be that they wanted to hold off Breath of the Wild 2 a little bit longer, and holding a June Direct without showing anything new from Breath of the Wild 2 would probably have upset a lot of fans. Either way, the potential reason of not having enough new content to show may have been accurate in June, but it doesn't really apply now. Except for Breath of the Wild 2, which is supposed to release in spring, we basically have no idea what we can expect for the Switch beyond November. In addition, prominent leakers such as Jeff Grubb, Nate the Hate and Emily Rogers have all talked about an upcoming remake or remaster of MetroidPrime, and especially Jeff Grubb seems very confident that it will be released this year. Because Nintendo hasn't announced it yet, it seems like they are keeping the announcement for an upcoming Direct. Could they potentially drop the announcement of this game and any other potential game for 2022 that is still unannounced on Twitter? Absolutely. But going into the holiday season and trying to sell Switches without having any dated games to advertise for the beginning of 2023? To me, that doesn't really make sense. Nintendo needs to announce games to start creating hype and excitement for the first half of next year, along with other potential 2022 games that are still unannounced. A Direct in September seems like a good time for that. Could they instead put it in October? They could, but during the Switch generation, Nintendo has never held a general Direct in October, and because two big Switch exclusive games are releasing that month, Mario + Rabbids Sparks of Hope and Bayonetta 3, it seems like a better idea to put it in September. That way they wouldn't overshadow these two releases with big announcements of new games in a general Direct shortly beforehand. In addition, a September Direct has actually been teased by Nate the Hate, who has proven to have legitimate inside information when it comes to Nintendo. It is worth noting that he doesn't say if it's a general Direct or something else, but he at least states that a Direct of some sort is indeed coming. So if this is actually the case, when could we see it? An interesting pattern is that Nintendo usually holds the September Direct the week before TGS, the Tokyo Game Show. For example, last year TGS was scheduled from the 30th of September to the 3rd of October. The Nintendo Direct aired on the 23rd of September, the week before. In 2019, TGS was scheduled from the 14th of September to the 15th of September. The Nintendo Direct aired on the 4th of September, the week before. Is this a coincidence? Maybe. This year, TGS is scheduled from Thursday the 15th of September to Sunday the 18th of September. If Nintendo would follow the pattern, the Direct would air either Wednesday the 7th of September or Thursday the 8th of September, as general Directs outside of E3 usually air on Wednesdays or Thursdays. However, I don't think that this will be the case. We already have two big events scheduled for that week, the Disney and Marvel Games Showcase on the 9th of September and Ubisoft Forward on the 10th. In addition to that, Sony is rumored to hold a PlayStation Showcase on the 8th. I don't think Nintendo wants to share the attention with all those other presentations. On top of that, Splatoon 3 releases on the 9th of September, so holding a direct that week with multiple new game announcements could potentially overshadow the game's release that week. Considering that Nintendo will be a part of Tokyo Game Show this year, they may still want to have their direct beforehand, potentially to announce something in the direct that they want to show more of at TGS. The show starts on Thursday the 15th of September, so this basically leaves Wednesday the 14th, or Tuesday the 13th if they think that having the direct one day before the show starts is too close. They could potentially only show games at TGS that we already know about, like Mario + Rabbids Sparks of Hope, Bayonetta 3 and Pokémon Scarlet and Violet, and therefore wait until the week after the show, which would mean Wednesday the 21st of September or Thursday the 22nd of September. There is also the week after, Wednesday the 28th and Thursday the 29th, but we usually don't see General Directs right at the end of a month, so unless this is something else than a General Direct, I don't expect the Direct to air that week. So yes, I am expecting Nintendo to have a Direct this month. I don't think it will be a partner showcase, as we need information about new first-party games at this point. It could be a Direct Mini, but considering that we basically know nothing of Nintendo's plans beyond November, except Breath of the Wild 2, I think it is much more likely for it to be a General Direct. We could also get an announcement for new systems to join the NintendoSwitch Online, as those are usually announced in September, where Game Boy and Game Boy Advance have been rumored to be the next additions. New systems for Nintendo Switch Online have always been announced in a General Direct, so unless we're actually not getting new systems this year, the upcoming Direct has to be a General Direct. My first guess for when the Direct will be held is the 13th or the 14th of September, and my second guess is the 21st or 22nd. Could I be wrong? Definitely. This is just speculation after all. Either way, those are my guesses. But let me know what you think about all of this in the comment section down below. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel. This is Archaon, and I wish you a wonderful day. Bye bye.